Human Rights Commission and the UN High Commissioner for Refugees have signed a partnership aimed at protecting the rights of asylum seekers and refugees. The agreement will provide cooperation between the two organizations to advocate for the protection activities. We are now joined by the South African Human Rights Commission CEO Tseliso Thipanyane for more on that particular agreement. So thank you for joining me, Mr. Thipanyane. So just tell me broadly what this agreement between yourselves and the UN High Commissioner for Refugees entails. What exactly will you be doing to better the lot of refugees and asylum seekers in South Africa?
Thank you. Both organizations have a mandate to protect the rights of refugees, asylum seekers in South Africa. And we have worked before with the UNHCR on issues of xenophobia. And we as a commission also have a mandate to protect the rights of every person in our country. So this agreement is quite of significance and also historical in the sense that, we'll be working together in terms of advocacy, in terms of research, as well as assisting the commission, in its protection mandate to protect the rights of refugees and asylum seekers. And we'll be working together. We'll have an action plan by the end of December. And then also the plan will also inform the Commission's work as we work towards getting a new action plans for the next financial year.
So beyond the high-level policy issues and advocacy, will you get involved, for instance, in individual cases and instances where, the rights and the welfare of refugees, perhaps a designated group of refugees, are at stake?
Yes, the Commission on its own does take complaints around these issues, and we have gone to court before, and we also monitor and report not only to Parliament but also to UN bodies. So basically, this agreement will help both organizations to do what they've been doing for the past years much better together. Many years ago, worked together on the Rollback Xenophobia campaign. So this will just be another continuation of how we can work together in ensuring that there is a better protection for refugees and asylum seekers in our country.
So when you say better protection, it suggests to me at least that this agreement was brought on by a need that both organizations identified. Tell me about that need. Where is the gap? What's the gap that you're trying to plug? Is it a policy gap that perhaps some of our policies are not accommodating enough? Or is it a practice gap that, we may have policies that on paper live up to our constitution, but in reality, refugees and asylum seekers are left in the lurch?
Yeah. To a large extent, it will be a matter of practice, we have good laws. But let me just start with the challenges from a legal point of view. At this point in time, when we're talking about issues of COVID vaccinations, again, government is still battling, to find a way of making sure that both refugees and asylum seekers, also when it comes to the issues of implementation of the laws, we still get lots of complaints around discrimination against people who are refugees or asylum affairs, for people to be able to get the papers, and people also risk, face harassment from law enforcement officials over their status.
And we can, a lot of the times we focus on the demands, for instance, in the last few months around the refugees that were in Cape Town that wanted to be relocated to another country. That's one of the issues that could be at play, that could be potentially, one of your targets as the two organizations later on. But I imagine that the issue of the backlog of the papers that need to be, processed through the South African system is, a burning platform, as it were. It's something that is urgent. My understanding is that over 153,000 outstanding applications.
Yes, it is indeed a burden. It has been so for quite a long time. I mean, the government has an obligation under UN, to receive the refugees. And once you have received the refugees and given them that status, then you also have to protect their rights. I mean, they have almost the same rights as South Africans, other than the right to vote. That is what international law says. But in practice, then, you still have these problems which have been here for quite some time. So both the UNHCR and ourselves have a common mandate to make sure that, we do address these issues, we advise government accordingly. And of course, as a commission, where there are clear violations of these rights, then we'll have to step in with our protection mandate and go to court if necessary.
All right, I've got to thank you. The network was sort of letting us down, but we got the essence of what the agreement is about there. That's the CEO of the South African Human Rights Commission, Tseliso Thipanyane, talking to us there about an agreement that they've entered with the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. I always get the two confused, High Commissioner for Human Rights and High Commissioner for Refugees. So I've got to slow myself down to realize which one I'm talking about. This is all.